Good morning, good evening, good night, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's your nighttime, right time DJ Music, and welcome to another episode of the Chop Shop. Instead of doing this live, I just went straight to the source. This is what we're going to talk about, folks, is the Donald Trump assassination attempt, as they would like to call it. Some folks say it was staged. I'm going to point out some things that why people would say it was staged. Was it? Well, some of the things that I'm going to point out to you, they can call it conspiracy theory, whatever, but I'm entitled to my opinion. And it's not an opinion of my opinion will not be secondhand when it comes to rifles or reaction. Why? Because I was in the military for 10 years. Why? Because I've been around guns my entire life. So the sounds of different guns, the way people react to a shooting, or the way that people react to different, the environment of being shot at, I've been around it enough to know that something is afoot here. Just my personal opinion. You cannot convince me that this was a legitimate assassination attempt. No one can convince me of that. There's a couple of people that I'm going to point out to you here, ladies and gentlemen. Number one, the lady with the black hat on right here with the sunshades. Another guy that I want you to look at is this guy over here with this gray hat on. And there's also another guy that's going to come along a little bit later on that I want you to pay attention to also. But first, what we're going to do is we're going to let the footage play in its entirety. And then I'm going to stop it. Well, at least up to the time they get him off the stage. Then I'm going to restart it, and then I'm going to start pointing out some things to you, okay? So without further ado, let's get with it.
A little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hold, are you ready? On you. Ready? Move! Up, move! Go! Up. Oh, guys, here. Ready? Are we ready? Are we good? Shooters down. Are we good to move? We're clear. Let's go. Let's go. Let me get my shoes. I got you. Let me get my shoes. Hold on your head. Bloody. So we gotta move to the Let me get my shoes. Okay, my shoes down. Watch out.
Okay, let's stop and pause it right there, folks. Let's stop and pause it there. Now let's go back to the beginning of the shooting. So we need to go to right about here. Let's start right about here, okay? Now again, I want you to start paying attention now that you watched the video. First and foremost, let's watch this lady's reaction right here. This is I think this will be a major character in with the conspiracy, a lot of the conspiracy theorists, as they call them. This is a main character in this play. This particular woman with the sunshades and the black cap, a ball cap on. Watch her reactions. Okay? Notice, she was not alarmed and nowhere. She was the very first one, folks, of all of these people, other than this lady back here with the 3D glasses on. She was the very first one, even before Trump raised his hand. She already reacted to the shots. Long before Trump had his hand on his ear. And we're going to speak about that also, okay? So let's watch it. Let's go again here. Let me back it up just a little bit more. There we go. Right before he gets pinged a little bit. There we go. Notice her calm demeanor, folks. I'm going to pause it right there. What is this guy with the black hat? What is he looking at? Notice how everyone's attention in this picture is forward. What are they looking for? Forward. Why would they be looking forward when it's obvious that the bullets, the sounds of the bullets are coming from, as they're sitting, from their right or left hand side? And none of the sounds are coming straight on from them. So what would they be looking at in the front of them other than Donald Trump? Why would his focus be out there in this particular guy here? What would his focus be? The president is down here, the ex-president, I should say, is down here. But he's looking out there. What is he looking for? This lady right here. You can tell she is not that you can see her eyes, but you can also tell that she is not looking at the Secret Service. She's looking past those folks. Now, again, watch her reaction and watch it carefully. Watch her reaction. I know, folks, we got to go with this. You got to go with it my way. Why is she pulling out her cell phone? For what reason? You notice, remember on the last freeze frame, she was looking at the Secret Service, or she was supposed to be looking away. Now here again, what are these folks looking at? What is the guy, these two red shirted guys here with the MAGA cap on and the blue United States cap on? What are they all looking at? Why would these folks be thinking that the shots are coming from this way when it's obvious they are coming from the opposite side of them? What is she filming? Is she filming the Secret Service? Why is her reaction of one, let me go ahead and record? Because again, folks, watch her reaction. You have to pay attention to this woman's reaction of how she's just nonchalantly not worried about anything. And this is important to a lot of the conspiracy theories. A lot of the folks have pointed this out. She's not concerned about anything. Look, the only reason she starts moving is because she sees what? She's not concerned. And then again, she has the wherewithal to go grab her phone. And again, here's another freeze frame shot of this guy with this black cap on, looking out straight on, not looking down straight on. He's looking out. These are the things that you have to pay attention to. The so-called body experts and all these other stuff. This is undeniable what I'm pointing out to everyone. Look at the guy over here with the black shirt and the Trump mugshot on. What is he looking at? What is she looking at? She's looking straight up this way. This guy with the Navy cap on. What is he looking at? He's not looking down at Trump. The guy with this red MAGA cap on, what is he looking at? He's not looking down at Trump. Nobody is focused on Trump at this time. All of these folks are focused either straight ahead or the opposite direction of where these shots are coming from. Why did the cameraman have the wherewithal to? Why would the cameraman pan out? Wouldn't you think the closer you are to the former president of the United States, especially with this historic moment happening, why would you pan out to take a wide shot of the crowd? Who's in there that the FBI is going to have to pinpoint? Some of the people that are back down here below the stage, you can't make out their faces. So why would you not stay focused on the main part of those folks that's right behind Trump? Why would you not be focused on what the Secret Service is doing? Why would you back out of that particular angle that you had earlier? But let's go, because he's going to go right back. Whoever the cameraman is, they're going to go right back to it. Here comes the Secret Service. I'm going to point out a few things. I'm going to... Okay, folks. I want y'all to hear something. You heard those other shots, right? You heard the initial shots. Now, I want you to go back. Before you hear this loud scream, you hear one more shot. Listen for yourself. Let me back it up just a little bit more until I find it. Wait 1 second. There we go. Okay, listen. There. Did you not hear another shot? Was that the shot of the snipers on the roof taking out the would-be assassin? Or was it the assassin getting off one more shot before he was summarily put down? Wouldn't that screen... Now let's go back to this. Let's go back to this screen, because I just thought of something. Okay. Let's go to something here. Now, I want you to notice. Let's go back a little bit more here. I know, folks. I know. Bear with me. Bear with me. But there's some things that it's important that I point out to you. Okay, now let's get back to where before we see this, we see the president is being protected by a former president being protected by Secret Service. We see that the shots already been taken. Now we start to notice that everybody's focus is shifted over to the opposite side. Why is that? Now everybody in this still frame that was looking to the left is now looking to the right. Is it because of the last final shot that we hear, or is it because of the final scream? I'll let you be the determining factor of that one. Here, let's back it up just a little bit more. Just notice in this still shot here, there's nobody looking this way yet. There's nobody looking to the right yet. Now let's continue. There goes another shot. Now everybody's attention turns to the opposite direction of the shot, then the scream. Was the scream about the person that was burnt, that we found out that was unalived during this assassination attempt? Which took place? Was that shot that we just heard, ladies and gentlemen? Was it the shot from the Secret Service sniper taking out the would-be assassin? Or was it the would-be assassin getting one more shot off and it hit someone in the crowd? Because notice, this lady is now screaming uncontrollable. This is an uncontrollable scream. Go back one more time. Let's go back one more time. See? Are you not going to tell me that last shot and that scream did not coincide with each other? Are you trying to tell me that? I'm not a sound expert. Look at the lady right here with the glasses on. Is she looking at Trump? Look at the guy with the white t-shirt on and the white hat on. Is he looking at Trump? Look at all these folks. Notice no one's right. Now folks are starting to shift their attention. Where's the guy with the funny looking hat on? Where is he at in this mix yet? Do y'all see him anywhere in this crowd of folks? Do y'all see that guy with that funny looking derby hat on that I pointed out earlier? Do y'all see him in this crowd? There he is. What is he looking at, folks? There he is. What is he looking at? Don't y'all think it's a bit warm? I hate to use a movie quote, but don't y'all think it's a bit warm? to be wearing a black jacket? You see anybody else out there in a jacket? I'm going to point out something else about some wardrobe in a little bit. Just point out some things that make you say, other than the Secret Service people, do you see anybody else out here in a jacket? This is summertime. We're experiencing a fucking heat wave. Look at this guy over here. He's in a wife beater. Let's continue.
Who's there? Hold, when you're ready, on you. Ready? Move! Move! Go! Oh, guys, here. Are we ready? We're good. Shooters down. Are we good to move?
Okay. Just now you hear, what the hell is that on me? Okay. Anyway, just now you heard the shooter down. Now let's go back just a little bit. Let's go back to the Secret Service. Let's start examining the Secret Service and their moves and their role of why the Secret Service, folks, is on the hot seat right now. Okay? I thought it was something crawling on me, folks, but actually it was the microphone cord that caught me off guard. I thought something was crawling on me. I was about to get into panic mode. but anyway, look. Here we go. We see the guys in black up on the stage already, right? That's one still frame. But I want y'all to notice something. Now let's go to the Secret Service before we see them. Let's keep going, taking this back. I know. Okay. No Secret Service. No guys with guns yet. There. Look. Except for this guy right here. This guy right here. Who is he pointing that rifle at? Now that I'm tying this guy and this Secret Service protecting guy and this Secret Service guy together, instead of his focus being trained on covering those men that's covering the former president, his trained eye, his military, his professional background tells him there's a threat in this crowd right here. Because look how he's looking down at the crowd with his rifle pointed. Not this guy, this guy. I'm not talking about him. And you know how I know he's got his weapon trained on someone? Look at this guy in the red. This guy in the red is looking at who he has the gun trained on. That's the only one that's paying attention right now. This guy and this guy. Do you see anybody else looking at this particular Secret Service guy? Let's continue. Now, I know if you notice in the background, you see some folks running behind, going behind the bleachers or whatever this is. Now, we all know, just from a footage that we all know from a couple days ago, that the shots are coming from the opposite direction and from where these guys are running to. You'll see more in the background. Or do I need to back it up? Let me back it up just a minute. Let me back it up. See? Who are those guys running behind the bleachers? Watch this. Who are these guys running behind the bleachers?
I got you. Let me get my shoes. Hold on, your head.
Okay.
So we gotta move to.
All right. I'm gonna pause this, folks. Wait a minute. Let me go back just a little bit. Don't worry about don't worry about the shooters behind the bleachers. It came up, and before I lose my train of thought on it. Now, remember, there's absolutely no reason for Trump to come out of this particular protective mode that the Secret Service had on him without a tie on, except if he had a clip on. Where's Trump's tie? Have y'all ever known Trump to wear a clip on? Where is his famous red tie? Y'all tell me. Look for yourself.
Let me get my shoes.
He gets up, no tie. His shirt's all disheveled. Even if his shirt was all disheveled, or the Secret Service broke his button trying to protect him, the tie would still be dangling from around his neck. So you telling me the Secret Service was that acute and aware that they said, "Ooh, let me pull your tie off, boss"? Is that what you're trying to tell me, folks? This don't seem strange to y'all? Now notice again, everybody's attention is starting to shift to the opposite direction of where we were looking at before, to the right, to the right, to the right.
Your head, bloody. So we gotta move to the Watch out.
Here comes the most infamous fight. Now, I got one thing to ask anyone who would just possibly, just as they say, saw their life flash in front of them. Would you be getting up like that? Which leads for someone to say, and I'll say this, folks, and I'm going to go, hold on to your hats. I think the reason why a lot of folks believe that this was staged, because the Republican Party already knew that Joe Biden was going to step down. They needed something to boost the morale, so to speak. What a better way to make Trump a martyr than to have someone try to take him out? Think about it. Think about the distance that would-be shooter was at. Think about the weaponry that he had. Think about all the facts that know that there were several people that warned the Secret Service that there was someone up on the roof. Not only was there someone up on the roof, folks, now let me ask you this. How did he get so close with that style weapon? Where was he able to conceal it? When I worked at the San Francisco Hilton, the President of the United States was coming to speak to the Merck convention. If you don't know what that is, it's a big doctors convention, a big one of those pharmaceutical conventions. A week prior to the president showing up at the San Francisco Hilton for this 15, 20-minute speech, they ran background checks on everyone that worked there. The FBI and the CIA came with a list to the powers that be and said, we don't want you to fire these folks, but because of their background, they cannot be on the premises when the President of the United States is here. And I can guarantee you, this was in 1994, 95, maybe 93. So you figure out who the president was in 1993, 94, 95. And you tell me that they were willing to tell any employee who may even had a sketchy past, not only at the San Francisco Hilton, but any hotel that was in a 2-3 block radius. Because we didn't know which hotel that the presidential party was staying in. More than likely was going to be the Mark Hopkins. If you know that, that's a pretty ritzy hotel. That's where all the big wigs stay. So more than likely he was going to be staying there. But the chances are of someone going to that garage, going into this, I guarantee there were snipers all around that place for at least a week. So you mean to tell me that this would-be unable to shoot 200-yard sniper was able to walk up with a rifle either strapped to him somehow or the other or in his arms, walk up climb up on a building? Did he have a ladder? Was he tall enough to just reach up and grab up? And another thing about that building, why instead of the would-be assassin being up on that building, why was there not a Secret Service person up on that building? I guarantee you, if you go to the hearings that's going on now with them Secret Service people, they're going to ask. They were asking that director that. How was this would-be assassin able to get up on that roof? And why didn't you listen to the folks? Why didn't your folks listen to the people that was around saying, hey, there's somebody up on the roof? Why did it take so long for you folks to react? Why was y'all posing for pictures? Because basically that's what they're doing. They want to be frozen in a moment in time. Look at the guy right here with the shades on. Want to be in a moment in time. Look at Donald Trump. Look at this guy. Want to be in a moment in time. He wants this picture. They want to be a part of, whether you call it infamy or infamous. It don't make no difference to these guys. But let's continue. Now, another thing about the Secret Service. First and foremost, we saw the one lady that couldn't even reholster her weapon. This was definitely the B team, folks. I can guarantee you that. This was definitely the B team. So that shows you the level of importance of Donald Trump, really. Not only, maybe not to regular America, because you see, but to the powers that be, we're not giving you our best. This is the B team that's protecting you. And that's another thing. How would a would-be assassin know that? How would he know that this was a crew of bumbling idiots? Why would they pause to grab his hat? What difference does it make? Have you folks ever seen if you go through the time history, go look at the Kennedy assassination, go look at both Kennedy assassinations, go look at when Ruby was assassinated, go look at when they tried to take Clinton out, not Clinton, but Reagan out. Go look at how the Secret Service reacted to getting that president out of harm's way. There's a movie with Clint Eastwood called In the Line of Fire. I suggest you folks go watch that. I guarantee you it will shed light onto the incompetency of these Secret Service folks through a movie. Let's continue. Now, first and foremost, the president or the former president's life has just been, someone just took a pop shot at the president. You're not going to give him, do you think a sniper could not make a headshot? There's no parts of Trump's anatomy that was supposed to be exposed. Until that door was open, which you can clearly see that Trump is not close enough to the door to get in. There was no part of his body that was supposed to be exposed. None. That part. This part. There's absolutely no way that Trump was supposed to be allowed to do that. Absolutely no way. Because they wasn't sure whether there was other snipers in the area. They wasn't sure of that. That was not a secure scene. They should have been doing everything they could possibly do to get Donald Trump out of harm's way. Whether you like Donald Trump or not, they are there to protect that former president. Whether you agree with Donald Trump or not, these people are there not to agree with Donald Trump politics. These folks are there to protect him because he was a former president of the United States. That's their only job. And for him to be able to stick his hand up in the air while some of these agents are basically posing for pictures instead of scanning the crowd, you got to ask yourself, really? Now, let me pause this. What we're gonna do, folks? Let me pause it. Alrighty there, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, folks, something in the milk ain't right. Now, this was a few days ago here. Actually, it was I think that next Sunday morning or that whatever day it was. I'm not exactly sure. But this is George Stephanopoulos, and the next guy that you'll hear talking. But anyway, folks, listen to this particular thing here. This is mind-boggling. Like I said, something ain't right here, folks. You can call this conspiracy theory all you want to, but something is just not right.
And on former President Trump. New video from the roof released. The Secret Service asked Trump to stop holding outdoor rallies, and the Secret Service director has resigned. Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas starts us off from Washington. Good morning, Pierre.
George, good morning. Our audience is about to see the frantic seconds in the moments after the government tried to kill former President Trump. It's all caught on police body cam video. And warning to our family at home, what you're about to see may be disturbing. This morning, new helmet camera video obtained by ABC News showing the moments law enforcement raced to that roof. Sure sniper killed the gunman who opened fire at a Trump rally. Officers climbing up a ladder. In chilling detail, the video shows an assault-style rifle lying next to the dead body of shooter Thomas Matthew Crooks. A trail of blood seen streaming down that sloped roof. An officer kneels down by the gunman. There appears to be a small device next to the shooter that was not seen earlier. The officer takes out the battery, then pulling out a phone as he checks the gunman's pockets.
A rangefinder. I think it's in the cargo pocket.
Police also seen counting the shell cases.
Looks like at least 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At least 8.
At one point, a law enforcement official who appears to be a Secret Service agent and another officer heard discussing the evidence the shooter was believed to have left behind.
This is his bike with the stuff. And our sniper seen him walking away from that, I believe.
This image clearly visible on the phone held by the local officer wearing the helmet cam. The new video comes amid mounting scrutiny aimed at the Secret Service and how it handled the assassination attempt, both before and after. The alleged lack of transparency costing the head of the Secret Service her job. Kim Cheadle, after vowing to stay, telling her workforce she no longer wanted to be, quote, a distraction. And now multiple sources telling ABC News that the Secret Service has asked the Trump campaign to consider not holding outdoor rallies in the wake of the assassination attempt, the heightened threat environment. The FBI director will be on Capitol Hill later this morning, where he will face questions about what took place and is likely to provide an update on what he's calling an extremely dangerous threat environment, Robin.
Thank you, Pierre. Appreciate your reporting.
All right there, folks. What we're going to do is we're going to pause this. Okay, folks. Now, like I said, this is not so much about casting doubt. This is just about pointing things out. Again, I wanted you to watch the video, and now we're going to go back and examine it. As my man says, there's going to be some things that I'm going to have to point out to you that they won't point out to you in the news, or maybe you just don't know. Okay. First of all, those men up on that, or those agents up on that roof, they were completely out of pocket. They were completely out of pocket. Completely. They were in violation of any and every code of ethics that the police department, or any law enforcement agency should uphold. Their conversations, their demeanor, and a few things that they did as far as moving evidence shouldn't have been done. I'm not a lawyer, but hey, I ain't stupid either. Now let's continue.
seconds in the moments after the gunman tried to kill former President Trump. It's all caught on police body cam video. And warning to our family at home, what you're about to see may be disturbing. This morning, new helmet camera video obtained by ABC News showing the moments law enforcement raced to that roof. After a sniper killed the gunman who opened fire at a Trump rally.
Okay, folks, first and foremost, there's not very many trees out there. As you can see, anybody who was trying to assess a threat level of a place, they had clear, as we say in the military, they had clear sight alignment, sight picture. This kid rolled up on a bike with a backpack with a gun strapped to his back and was still able to get up on a roof. He should have never made it that far. That's one of the points. Why he should have never made it that far. Because this police vehicle is parked out there already. How did the police know to be in that position already? Folks, this is a place that the FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, the Secret Service, all these places right here should have been blocked off, quarantined. No one should have been able to park in this parking lot. And as you can see, it's not. 3 reasons. Number 1, for a shooter, sight alignment, sight picture. There's 4 things right now a would-be shooter could do with the right rifle. And some things that you heard earlier, this guy had a rangefinder. So some of y'all, rangefinder might not mean nothing, but 146, 100, less than 200 yards, there was absolutely no way, if he was trying to hit Trump, would he have missed. With a rangefinder, understand something. There's absolutely no way that he would have missed Trump. He would have nicked his ear if he was trying to kill him. That's just bottom line to it, folks. Now that we know that there's a rangefinder involved, I didn't speculate on the first part of this video. Now that we know that there's a rangefinder involved, what you gonna say now? That he wasn't trained? Or he just happened to know about a rangefinder? He just happened to know about an AK style rifle? Listen for yourself. Listen to what the folks that's up on the roof is telling you what they see. These, as they say, these are the first responders.
Officers climbing up a ladder.
Where did the ladder come from, folks? That looks like one of them Home Depot ladders. You're not going to go to too many warehouses and find a ladder perched up on side of a building. Someone put that ladder there. And you mean, where did the ladder come from? So you mean all these powers that be, none of these folks were suspicious of this ladder, whether the gunman put it there or a worker someone that works at this warehouse put it there. That ladder would not have been there. There's so many things just based on the military experience that I have. There's so many things that the Secret Service did not do correctly. Let's continue.
In chilling detail, the video shows an assault-style rifle lying next to the dead body of shooter Thomas Matthew Crooks. A trail of blood seen streaming down that sloped roof. An officer kneels down by the gunman. There appears to be a...
First and foremost, as you can tell, that is not one of the Secret Service. That is probably a local policeman. Why is that? Why do you say it's a local policeman? Because he has a local policeman gun. He's a sergeant. He's probably a shift supervisor. He will be one of those guys when the ex-president or the president speaks or some dignitaries speak. It's all hands on deck. They bring the big wigs up. We know this, so it would not be unusual to see a sergeant up on that roof. But what this sergeant did, he tampered with evidence. The minute that he touched that body, he's tampering with evidence. This is not a state crime. This is a federal crime. This has nothing to do with the state anymore. The state is completely out of the picture when it comes to if this guy gets prosecuted. Well, we know he won't get prosecuted. He was eliminated. But anybody that's in connection with him, all these folks will face the wrath of the federal government, not the state, municipality.
A small device next to the shooter that was not seen earlier. The officer takes out the battery, then pulling out a phone as he checks the gunman's pockets.
A rangefinder. I think it's in the cargo pocket.
Police also seen counting the shell casings.
Looks like one, at least 8.
Listen, at least 8 shell casings. So a lot of people were saying, well, I only heard 5 shots. Okay, well, that dispels that 5-shot rumor, because there's 8 spent cartridges. That means that usually a styled rifle like that goes off in 3-round bursts. It's probably semi-automatic, 3-round bursts. Pop, 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 3, pop, 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 3, pop, pop. He didn't get the other one out. You know why? Because you see his blood running down the damn. But he got 8. He got off 8 shots. He got off 8 rounds, and to be in protection of a former president of the United States, for someone to get off 8 rounds, it's a miracle in itself. He shouldn't have been able to get off 1, much less 8. And I'm telling you, the only reason he did not get more than 8 off is probably because they took him out. Like I said, a semi-automatic weapon usually goes in 3-round bursts. For those folks in the military, tell me I'm wrong.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At least 8.
At one point, a law enforcement official who appears to be a Secret Service agent and another officer heard discussing the evidence the shooter was believed to have left behind.
And this is his bike with the stuff. And our sniper seeing him walking away from that, I believe.
This image clearly visible on the phone held by the local officer wearing the helmet cam. The new video comes amid mounting scrutiny aimed at the Secret Service and how it handled the assassination attempt, both before and after. The alleged lack of transparency costing the head of the Secret Service her job. Kim Cheadle, after vowing to stay, telling her workforce she no longer wanted to be, quote, a distraction.
A distraction for what, folks? This should be quite easy, okay? If this guy acted alone, there's no more investigation. If there's no other folks to go after, why would you be a distraction, Kim Cheadle? Why? Because there's hell to be paid here. Understand this, folks, whether you like Trump or not. This Secret Service lack of preparedness has nothing to do with Trump himself. This is for every other president or every other dignitary that comes to the United States. This is what this is about. There's got to be some answers to how a would-be assassin got off 8 rounds, how a would-be assassin pulled up on a bicycle while the former president of the United States is speaking, walk up a ladder, folks screaming and yelling, hey, there's somebody on the roof. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pause this, and if you don't believe me, you can find out for yourself. Check this out. I'll be right back.
All we know was shots was fired, and then I jumped over the barrier and put my hand on the guy's head that was refusing to breathe.
Who was it? Do you know?
It's a stranger.
This is not Trump, though. This is another person.
Yeah. So Trump's on here.
And it was, you said he got hit on his head?
Yeah.
Did you see, were you in the vicinity where Trump was?
I was on the side. I was on the special, yes.
Are you okay?
I'm breathing around more, but I just, military reaction.
Yeah.
Venue area, we have all evacuated. Again, press, attendees, everyone who was there is now out of the area. We are currently in the parking lot. Again, there were thousands of people at this rally, as there are at many rallies. There are a lot of cars in this parking lot, all looking to leave. As we were getting Joe and Donna, a mother-son, who say that they were right there. They were in the area where this happened. Donna, let me start with you. First of all, are you okay?
Yes, I'm shook. I'm definitely shook up, but I'm okay. Yeah, and Trump was talking, watching him. I heard pop, pop, pop. I thought it was like a cap gun. And my son's like, God, get down. And next thing you know, everybody around us was down. And then once we got down, we was up at the top of our bleacher, the men were yelling to all the snipers and all the cops to come over because he had shot a man and a woman in our bleacher. We heard the one is very fatal. We don't know that for sure, but they were down. They went out.
So Joe, what exactly did you see? Because from our vantage point, we couldn't see what was going on. We didn't see any individuals. All we could do was listen for those sounds. But what did you see?
Again, I was watching the president, and you hear the gunshots go off. Remarks from up top said that the shooter actually climbed up the back of the bleacher. And after we got down, like my mom said, there was 2 people down. They were calling for medics. We did see the 2 people that were shot, and we saw them get carried out. Like, I don't know. The one didn't look like they were okay. I hope the other one's okay, and just may God watch over them tonight.
And Dawn, you said 2 people. Were these 2 people fellow attendees of the rally? And what kind of did you see them get shot directly, or did you just see the aftermath?
No, you just heard the noise. You heard the pop, 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 seeing the aftermath, and neither of them looked good. They were both down. Nobody was talking. Nobody was moving.
What was going through your mind as you were witnessing all of this?
Are they still here? And am I going to get shot?
And there it is, folks. I let that play just for a minute, just so you could hear that part of it. Were they still here? You see why I expressed the interest of why they should not have let Trump do the fist pump, number 1, on stage, and number 2, at the truck. Are they still there? Is it more than just one shooter? Now, this is after everyone is this is the aftermath. They have the reporter, and the folks have the wherewithal to think, okay, so it's probably enough safe now. But at this point in time, what she's thinking, is there more people? Is there more shooters? Especially, I see 2 people, it don't look real good right now. You mean to tell me that an untrained person can think that, but these Secret Service folks that we see on the other side of the screen can't? Didn't think that way?
Get up and try to get out of here, and some gentleman there said, no, you stay down. So we stayed down, and then we finally heard everybody evacuate, and he grabbed my hand and we got out of there.
Now, this particular one, here's another one that I want you to see. I think this is the redhead guy. I'm not exactly sure. But this is the guy that talks the most, I do believe.
Was in the front row.
Let's go. Let me pause that. I'm gonna go find the redhead guy there, folks, because he tells you exactly. He gives a little bit more detail. And again, all these witnesses that we're about to show you, this is what before the FBI got, or the FBI, or the Homeland Security, or before anybody could start, scrubbing the internet of footage. This is you'll understand what I'm saying in just a minute. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'll be right back. Alrighty there, ladies and gentlemen. What's so ironic about this particular footage? This was the first real footage that of an eyewitness that any news organization posted. And funny, it came from the BBC, not from ABC, not from NBC, not from MSNBC, but from BBC. Listen.
Incredible interview that the BBC has done with a witness who wasn't actually at the rally but was at the festival and was sitting there trying to hear what Donald Trump was saying. Incredible account of what he saw. I think we've got the tape here. Let's play it.
Okay, folks, before we go any further, I want you to understand something. This is important. He was not at the actual rally. He was at a festival that was a little bit away from the rally, but he was in close enough proximity that he could hear Donald Trump speaking. Okay, this is why is this important? Because he is one of the guys that say, hey, this is somebody on the roof before any shots was fired. Listen.
We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, but we noticed the guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
A rifle.
We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at them. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police are like, huh, what? You know, like they didn't know what was going on. You know, we're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. He's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for 2-3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
Just remarkable. His name's Greg Smith, being interviewed.
Okay, Greg Smith. Greg Smith just gave one hell of a story, didn't he, folks? He wasn't at the rally, but he was close enough to the rally. The shooter was 50 yards away from him, as he said. So again, this leads to the credence of a man with that style of rifle, with that type of equipment, Miss Trump. You have eyewitnesses telling the Secret Service that there's something foul on the roof. What y'all gonna do? Nothing. You do nothing. He says Trump was speaking for 5 to 7 minutes. And while they're pointing, telling the Secret Service that there's somebody on the roof, why is Trump still speaking? Good point. Why is he still speaking? Y'all was able to communicate. I'm sure that those snipers and those Secret Service people have ways of communicating with each other instantly. So you mean to tell me whether it was a credible threat or a hoax, folks decided to do nothing, see what was going to happen? Listen to him again.
And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
Just remarkable. His name's Greg Smith.
Speaking, why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for 2-3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
Just remarkable.
All right there, ladies and gentlemen, giving you all the information that I show you, eyewitness accounts, my personal opinion of it. That's all it is. It's an opinion. But now let's take this last little clip right here. And this, of course, is AI telling. So, artificial intelligence, but it leads a lot of credence to what I've been trying to point out, what a lot of other folks have been pointing out. Okay? From that distance, with that type of rifle, there's absolutely no way that he should have missed. Sight alignment, sight pitching. There was no wind, so he didn't have to adjust. All he needed was a rangefinder. He had that. I think he had a scope. That's what the rangefinder was for, okay? But anyway, let's continue with this, and let's go into this last bit of here. This is how the Trump attempted assassination actually happened. A detailed timeline. So let's watch it.
Trump's rally takes place in Butler, Pennsylvania, roughly 30 miles north of Pittsburgh. The Butler Farm Showgrounds, located at 625 Evans City Road, about 5 miles from downtown Butler. The shooter, Thomas Crook, was smart enough to park his van on Lawrence Avenue, avoiding police and Secret Service officer from investigation and checking. It was also suspected of containing a considerable amount of explosives. This is where he got out and walked all the way to this vantage point, which is this building on the right. He then climbed his ladder located here and moved up to the top of this roof. To help you understand better, let's take a basic look at the position of Trump on stage as well as the shooter. There are 3 important structures or buildings we need to understand. This is the Trump stage, and just above him is the audience section where a selected number of people is seated. This structure is also very important as it is where the Secret Service personnel are located and snipers are positioned. Finally, we have this building where the shooter set up his sniper location. A quick note, the distance from the shooter Thomas Crook to Trump's stage is around 137 meters, which translates to around 450 feet. while the distance between the shooter and the Secret Service sniper position is around 134 meters, which is approximately 440 feet. When former President Donald Trump was a little into his speech, the shooter squeezed the trigger of his AR-15 rifle, releasing 3 bullets. One of these shots hit the former president on the ear. This was followed by another 5 shots. Possibly one of the bullets missed the former president's head by just a quarter of an inch as he turned to look at a chart statistic located on the left. This move saved his life. From the top angle, this is what it looks like when replaying how the bullet missed Mr. Trump as he moved his head at the last millisecond. Interestingly, this bullet would have hit the former president and his head had been turned towards the audience as shown here in this visualization. All in the videos ahead with detailed minute-to-minute animated timelines until the former president was in his armored SUV. We will also be looking at the respective weapons used by both parties and the 2 scenarios with and without bullet penetrating the skull. At 6:12 p.m. ET, Trump started addressing his supporters and spoke for roughly 6 minutes before the scene erupted into chaos. Trump was in the middle of speaking when someone in the crowd was heard saying, "He's got a gun." As the video captured someone in the crowd repeating, on the roof, "He's got a gun," it's here that 3 shots rang out. A pause and 5 more shots in rapid succession were heard. For some unknown reason, the shooter had a clear line of sight from an elevated level well positioned as a sniper nest. Interestingly, a heavy-duty ladder was also located on the side. It might be a permanent fixture. He aimed with this AR-15, a semi-automatic rifle, which will be discussed in detail later in the video. At around 6:11, he aimed his sights on the former president and squeezed the trigger, releasing the bullet. At 6:11:34, Trump touched the right side of his face. At 6:11:35, Trump took cover as U.S. Secret Service agents rushed to the podium to surround him. "Get down, get down, get down," one of them said. As stated, the gunman was positioned outside the rally venue, approximately 400 to 500 feet away from where Trump was speaking. As discussed, the police sniper was located at this position. They were then alerted and started aiming at the suspected shooter. Already, the bolt-action rifle bullet traveled a range of 500 feet. However, this weapon can inflict damage at a range of around 1,200 to 1,300 yards. This is well beyond the shooter's 500 feet limit. We will discuss this weapon in more detail later in the video. At this moment, Trump remains low to the ground surrounded by agents, who could be heard on the rally microphone discussing which vehicle will be used to move the former president away from the scene. Seconds later, multiple agents say, "Shooters down." Law enforcement in tactical gear and rifles are now on the stage. A woman's screams are heard following the sound of another shot. Here's a transcript of the audio of the podium of Trump and Secret Service members. 6:11:41 p.m. Female agent, "What are we doing? What are we doing? Where are we going?" Man indistinctly yelling. 6:11:50. Gunshot. Then woman screams. 6:11:58. Male agent 2. Go around to the spare. Go around to the spare. Spare refers to a spare limousine or SUV. At 6:12 again, male agent 3 appears to say something like, "Move to the spare, hold, hold. When you're ready, on you." At 6:12:01, male agent 2 screams, "Ready." 6:12:02, male agent 3 shouts again, "Move." 6:12:03, male agent 2 screams, "Up." 6:12:03, male agent 3 says, "Move." 6:12:04, male agent 4. He shouts again, "Go, go, go." 6:12:06, male agent 2, "Hawkeye's here." Hawkeye is the code name for the counter-assault team. 6:12:06 again. Female agent 1, "Hawkeye's here, moving to the spare." 6:12:09. Male agent 4, "Spare get ready, spare get ready." 6:12:10. Male agent 2 says, "You ready?" 6:12:16 to 21. Agents, "Shooters down, shooters down. Are we good to move?" 6:12:21. Male agent, "Shooters down. We're good to move." 6:12:22. Female agent, "Are we clear?" 6:12:23. Agents, "We're clear. We're clear. We're clear." 6:12:23. Male agent, "Let's move. Let's move." 6:12:25, the agents prepare to move Trump off stage, but he tells them to wait. With blood dripping from his ear over a portion of his face, Trump lifts his fist in the air, prompting a loud cheer from the rally crowd, and mouths the word "fight" 3 times while pumping his fist. Some say this is kind of a gangster move by Trump, leaving a mark in the American history to never give up and fight.
Guys, if you're looking for a school that is 100% online, offers low-cost tuition, and has over 135 degrees and certificates, you've got to check out UFGC. Right now, there is no application fee through August 29th. And get this, you can transfer up to 90 credits towards a bachelor's degree so that you can get credit for your experience and fast-track your degree. So why not explore your options? Apply at no cost today.
Let's take a look at what the snipers are using. This is a bolt-action sniper rifle used by the U.S. Navy SEALs and other special operations units. The rifle is based on the Remington 700 long action and fires 300 Winchester Magnum rounds. The MK-13 rifle has an official effective range of 1,200 yards, though it is capable of making longer shots. Here is the enhanced day optic that provides a greater magnification range and an improved sight. The MK-13 weighs around 11.4 pounds, which translates to around 5.17 kilograms, making it relatively manageable for its size. Its overall length spans 1207 millimeter, that is roughly around 47.5 inches, providing substantial reach. The barrel, a critical component for accuracy and range, measures 673 millimeter, which translates to around 26.5 inches in length. This design ensures precision and stability. Additionally, the rifle is equipped with a feed system that utilizes a 5-round magazine, allowing for multiple uses before needing to reload. Let's take a look at this controversial AR-15 semi-automatic weapon, meaning a user can fire multiple shots in quick succession. The AR in AR-15 stands for Armalite rifle, not to be confused with its cousin, the M16, which has been used by the U.S. military since Vietnam. This is a fully automatic machine gun, while the AR-15 are semi-automatic. They fire high-velocity bullets that travel at triple the speed of a handgun round, are accurate over long distances. This rifle has a mass of 6.55 pounds, which translates to around 2.97 kilograms. It measures 39 inches, which is approximately 991 millimeters in length, with a barrel length of 20 inches. This is 508 millimeters. The rifle uses a 223 Remington cartridge and has an effective firing range of 500 yards or 457 meters. Additionally, the rifle is equipped with a feed system that utilizes a 20-round magazine, allowing for multiple uses before needing to reload. As discussed, let's slow down the bullet and watch the devastating effect from this AR-15 in slow motion. This is the first bullet that flew towards the former president, scraping his ear while he was turning to look at the graph. Below is the visualization of what would have happened if Donald Trump had not moved his head. The bullet would have hit the right part of his brain. It would have passed through, shattering the skull and destroying the soft tissues. The damage would have been catastrophic and likely fatal, but a miracle happened at the last second, thus saving the Donald Trump by a hairline. Finally, at 6:14, the former president was ushered to the spare vehicle. As stated, a spare means an SUV or limousine. This black armored SUV departs and takes him to the nearest Butler Memorial Hospital, approximately 11 miles away, and this marks the end of the Secret Service's operations.
All right, folks. The reason why I wanted you to see that, and I didn't want to interrupt in it, that lends credence to everything that I spoke about earlier. As you can see, I didn't have to go into very much detail, although this is a AI version of it. Of course, you know, with AI, someone has to kind of prompt it a little bit to give it some idea of what to think and what parameters it would discuss. Because how do I know? Because I've used AI before. Okay, so with given that, ladies and gentlemen, I will say to this: was the Donald Trump assassination attempt a staged event? You can see why some people would think so. You really could. You can ask yourself, was it fake? Was it a bad marksman? What was it? One thing's for sure, folks. There's going to be a lot of questions. A whole lot of questions. Starting with the folks that are supposed to protect a president or a former president or any dignitary that comes into the United States. That's what the Secret Service is about. And as we can see from the footage, the actual footage, and this AI creation, that the Secret Service failed miserably to protect a former president of the United States, whether you like Donald Trump or not. This is bigger than Donald Trump himself. This is for all future presidents, heads of state, and foreign dignitaries. The Secret Service has a lot to answer for. With that, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all so very much for listening, tuning in. If you want to leave a comment, by all means, feel free to like, share, subscribe. But remember, now, like I always say, if you leave me a nasty one, I'm going to leave you one back. All right?